See, this is why you don't like little kids name animals. Because my brother named my blind cat Sprinkles because it had sprinkles in its eyes.
Oh, that's pretty nice, though. That's, like, sweet. That's, like...
Wait, hold on. Like
sprinkles
like,
because it was, like...
Like candy sprinkles?
I was going to say, like, you, like, have, like...
What kind of sprinkles?
Like, sprinkles, like, sprinkles, like...
Did somebody take that glitter dust and
severe
fucking, like, salt it down
kind
on
of
them?
sprinkles.
Yeah. It was like a 10 to 12-week-old kitten when we found it outside of Food Giant. And it had, like, infection took over its face and destroyed its eyeballs, and whenever we got the infection cleared up, it looked like it had sprinkles and specks in its eyes, and so my brother called it Sprinkles.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's kind of cute.
That's adorably fucking dark.
I had a white German
That's Fruits
Shepherd.
Basket right there.
Speaking of adorably dark stories about kittens, it's time for the first word.
It'd be fingerless.
Anyway, so welcome to the first word. We'll come back to the mech fight, but we might as well just jump into what we all want to fucking talk about.
We should start from the very beginning, I think.
I mean,
to the tippity top of the tiers here. Let me see. Okay, let's get into the Crow RWBY moment.
Okay, we'll start there.
That felt like the first significant thing that happened. To me, anyway. Crow's continuing on his tirade of being unsure about his position or anybody's ability to actually get anything accomplished with all this shit. And he's trying to preserve RWBY's safety. But she gives him this look of absolute calm determination whenever he grabs her. And he's like, oh shit, can't do anything about this.
And lets her go, and then...
You need to trust me!
Yeah. I just love the fact that he didn't have control of like the situation at all. Like, and it almost looked like that it was like bothering him because he just he's the adult with still a bunch of kids.
And everything was just happening around him. He couldn't really.
I don't get that. I get more of a like Crow was probably there, or at least knew the situation whenever Summer died.
Yeah.
So seeing
RWBY be the same kind of
like, I'll trust you, but
right.
I mean, you're probably gonna die. Not to explain this to your dad.
Could you imagine what Ty would do if he had to tell RWBY? Could you imagine what Blake would do to Crow if he had to tell RWBY that?
With all of the other people there to tell...
Not Blake, Yang.
With all the other people there to tell them what actually happened... Or to tell Yang what actually happened.
But who would she rather hear it from? Her uncle who was supposed to be watching over her sister?
That's
for sure.
That's the thing. Like,
what I'm saying is I feel like it would happen in the company of everybody else if it happened in general.
No, I think fucking Ty finding out about it would be even way worse. Like, you're supposed to protect her.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the only reason.
And then anything that everybody else could say wouldn't be correct.
Right.
I feel like Ty would be more understanding than Crow is, honestly.
No, than Yang.
Oh, I thought somebody said Ty.
Well, yeah.
We were talking about
Ty. We're talking about Ty.
I think it would be the most emotionally devastating.
Yang before Ty, easy.
Yang would be more understanding. Is what you're saying.
No.
The opposite.
Fuck.
Yang would.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I'm totally on the opposite range of that. She's in this entire thing. She understands what's happening. She understands if RWBY did something, then she was doing it of her own volition.
Right.
And had probably told Crow to fuck off.
Well, then
Ty's just barely holding together. He's all but a broken man. It's his fucking daughter dying in combat in a similar way to his.
He seems.
Are you saying like if she died?
Yes.
If RWBY died
doing this.
If RWBY died doing this, then Ty would flip the fuck out, probably on Crow because she was under Crow's watch.
And I don't think that Yang ever sees her as being under Crow's watch right now.
Right.
So Crow letting her die wouldn't be...
I didn't realize you were talking about if she died.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I think Ty is a lot more developed than Yang is. Because Yang has made a lot of progress in all of this trauma shit after losing her arms, but that's because of Ty.
Yeah.
I think Ty deals with tragedy better because of what happened to Summer.
I'll give you that. However, but with Ty not being in the situation and Yang understanding more of what the situation is and how RWBY is taking it and how RWBY is trying to deal with it.
Right.
And her being like the she's been saying "fuck you" to Crow in front of everybody
Yeah.
a lot lately.
Right.
It's not like Crow had anything to fucking do with her decision.
Right. Yeah, no, I think like first touch emotional reaction, Ty would have one worse than Yang would.
For sure.
But I think in general, Ty would be able to deal with it better than Yang would, just because he's been around this shit.
So
That's
you're
not
talking
like,
about the long-lasting effects of her dying.
I'm talking about like
versus
pure emotional devastation. Because Yang at first would be like, okay, I get what's happening here, but like she's also not going to have Ruby
Are we
with
talking
her.
about
Like
that-
a couple days to a week later, Yang's
Yeah.
gonna, it's
Are
gonna
we
hit
talking
It's
him.
going to
about
be
that
a
as
slow
in-
burn.
As in their relationship to Crow is what I thought we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think that Yang would have a detrimental relationship with Crow because of Ruby going off and doing something of her own volition and dying?
No, I think it would be a slow burn with her through that. Because she doesn't have the kind of coping mechanisms that Ty does.
Oh yeah, no, she'd climb up into a ball. Yang, if Ruby died.
I think she would kind of regress onto this progress she'd made.
I don't think she'd have those negative feelings towards Crow, though. I don't think that.
I mean, I think it would be. I think it would.
Well, what
I
I
don't
was
think
saying,
that, I don't think
think-
that she would put anything like on Crow about it at
That's
all.
what
I was
thought.
saying about-
Intellectually, I don't think she would, but
Yeah.
I think that emotionally there would be a slow burn of resentment towards Crow because she would see that her and Ruby's involvement was related to Crow.
Was a connection
Yeah.
of Crow being involved.
Right.
what I was saying about Crow was that I thought you were saying out of everyone there, someone else would tell Yang, and I was like, it should come from Crow, the
Right.
uncle.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to
Okay.
say.
Right.
Gotcha. Because I was talking about. There's no situation that I can believe that the rest of the team, if she had died in that moment, wouldn't have been there, right with them the entire fucking time.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if there was a big come up of it, it would have been like solved very fucking quickly and been like, no, she did it on her own. Like that's
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can talk about hypotheticals all day, but I think we should get to the important parts, which is called it.
call it which called it. Because there's a
The-
lot of call it's.
The Ruby stopping the mech, and then the kaiju fucking coming up on the other side towards the shoreline.
Right.
But none of us called the dust. None of us called the dust being locked in. Portion of that?
being
Yeah.
how. Yeah.
None of us caught
that.
or Ruby actually like jumping inside of the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, like-
cannon.
Yeah.
Total.
Well, her initial plan
fucking crazy.
failed,
Right.
Yeah.
so then she had to fucking improvise, and that was
Goddamn.
great.
Now,
Super hardcore.
Yeah.
did anyone else expect the pull off? Because it was already locked in. She could have fired. She expected Ruby to move. Did nobody else feel like that?
What?
She pulled off of the shot when Ruby came up into the mech arm. Like, she had a face that looked distraught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
thought that Ruby was going to move the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
She didn't want to make that shot, right?
Well, I think she's like, I've heard enough. We're continuing this conflict. I don't know to what degree she wanted to like murder Ruby.
Yeah,
I think she wanted to
did.
maybe maim at the worst. She didn't want to like.
I don't know.
Kill
though.
her.
I'm sorry, but
I think-
but when you bring out a giant mech
Yeah, you're
to
expecting
fight
somebody to
people on
die.
a plane, you're trying to kill them.
Right.
But then,
Right.
like
But
the
did you
moment
not
you
see
do
the
actually
fucking-
kill one, you're like,
Yeah.
I
But
thought-
did you not see the fucking look of distraught on her face when she
Yeah.
hopped up in it? She was like, oh,
Yeah,
She was like,
because
I know I'm vulnerable because
right,
it's
because
in.
because she hopped up in there like, what the
Right.
I don't
fuck is
think
this
she
crazy
even-
chick gonna do?
I don't even think she thought that. That's
No, I
not
don't
the
think
face of
I
distraught
don't-
that I got.
I don't see any ounce of like, oh, I don't want to hurt these kids really from Cordo at all.
You think?
No.
no, I didn't get any like remorse or I didn't want to hurt these kids. Like, I don't think she wanted to kill them. Is what it was.
Yeah.
Well, I think
she wanted
she's
to-
like, these are terrorists. Basically, I'm going to murder them because
think
they're.
she wanted to
As
fucking
Aaron
capture
said,
them.
you don't bring out a fucking mech to fucking slap somebody on the wrist.
Yeah, but you're dealing with a bunch of hunters and huntresses who are actually.
A whole
doesn't know
bunch of
that.
planes, a whole bunch of other planes trying to take them down
Yeah.
would have been much easier, less
She does
less.
know that.
She was trying to make a point.
Yeah, but that wasn't making a point. That wasn't making a point. That was showing off your white superiority.
That's fair.
But she does know they're hunters and huntresses because she knew Wyas went to Beacon
Yeah.
over
Oh, that's true.
going to
Yeah,
the other
kno-
school.
Oh, everybody-
I know, that's
everybody
I'm
knows
saying.
what
She's
White
bringing
Schnee
that
is
out
doing.
against a bunch of hunters and huntresses.
Yeah, but still,
So like
she's
she
bringing
knows
lethal
that
weaponry out still.
And she backed off on the first shot. And every shot that she made from there was fucking blasted off easily.
I think she was trying to kill Calavera at the very least.
At the front of the conversation, if she wanted to kill Calavera, she could have fucking done it.
Yeah, she
In the
could've-
first shot, she backed off. She said that was a warning shot. Hit him with it.
Yeah, but
She
that
backed
they
off
continue
the
to
interview.
engage.
yeah,
Yeah.
a warning shot's like you have a chance now to disengage,
Yeah.
and they continued on with the conflict, and now she was actively trying to kill them.
I still don't think that. I still think that she was trying to capture them and bring them in as Atlas enemies, where she would get probably a higher Medal of Honor than killing a bunch of kids.
She was either trying to
She was not thinking anywhere near that clear of mind to do that at that point.
She was just trying to show off the strength of Atlas military.
remember
She does say that.
she was given an opportunity to have a parlay with them and potentially capture them, but she decided to continue the conflict.
I just think she's smarter than she's putting off as a character at this point.
Maybe,
I think
but
she's-
not in this
Because
situation.
there's no way that she would be at the head of Argus.
Well, she.
Oh,
she
It's
they
played-
absolutely could, because Atlas kind of promotes the idea of somebody being very didactic and
Well,
They
making-
not only
even
that,
Miles and Carrie even actually like talked about how people are not gonna like expect the way that Atlas military works. Like it's really based on how like we are, how America is.
yeah.
That's what Atlas military is supposed to be, like big dick, like look at me, motherfuckers.
and someone like Cordo, who might be a bit of a problem, a good place to put them would be somewhere like Argus that is just a fucking trade port that doesn't get a lot of attention. Like she doesn't see a lot of fucking conflict and stuff.
And then kill the fuck out of 8 teenagers and just put that on the
Okay.
record for martyr.
If that would have happened,
Well-
8
if that would've
teenagers who
happened,
stole military equipment
Right.
and were planning to do something without consent of,
And she
basically taking a military action against Atlas.
She called Weiss a traitor, and even
Yeah.
she could have said that they were kidnapping Weiss if like it came down to it.
Yeah.
But wasn't that information known other places that Weiss was with him?
what?
What, that Weiss was with those particular people there?
Yeah.
I don't think
If
so.
it would have come up that it was these people and they were kidnapping them, wait, didn't they go to Beacon together? Weren't they in a team?
Man, you know how easy it is to figure out that Bruce Wayne is Batman if you look at it logically, or same with Clark Kent.
Fuck me. Yeah,
It's
you're
the
right.
it's the
Yeah,
exact
I've always thought Clark
same
Kent was
scenario.
Batman. Or
So-
Man is actually.
Man.
Man. Trying to think more on that. Man, okay, so I wanna come back to it because I said it last week for that little preview bit and whatnot, but Rin, whenever he says guys, I can't.
Guys!
I just
Guys!
can't. I can't.
Ah! Oh no! Yeah, it was really weird.
It's really not Rin.
You know,
Wasn't Montezuma originally Rin's
Yeah,
voice?
and now his brother is.
I would have fucking loved one thing to have stayed the same throughout all of RWBY. And
The Montiom not being dead.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Montio not being dead. But
Oh, that would have been so nice.
even if written by other people that he left it in their hands and explained a shitload of the story to them,
Okay, we got that.
Yeah.
Montiom being the voice of Ren. I really no.
His brother is still right on it. His brother.
Yeah.
And
His
He's
brother's
right
still
on
not
it,
very
but-
different from.
It's to the
Monty's
point
voice.
where I didn't know Montiom voiced Ren, and I never noticed the difference.
Well,
yeah.
well, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, same. I mean,
Ren-
the only reason I did notice is because he's dead.
Right.
Ren has more lines in Volume 4, Episode 1 than he does in like all of the lines that Monty voiced.
Right.
Yeah.
Volume 4 was whenever
Yeah.
they were like actually giving Rin a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point. And I feel like, actually, fuck what I feel in this one, but I felt like he was going to bring that in later on in the story.
Bring what on?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like Volume 4 was whenever they planned on showing off Rin's story. Either way,
So
Yeah.
I would have loved to.
I would have loved to hear Rin, or love to hear Monty do it as well.
Yeah.
I would have loved it. Loved to
Yeah.
hear it, but I still love his brother's voice is still like spot on, perfect
it's
of what I
great.
want.
It's great.
So
Don't get me wrong. I don't hate the voice by any means, but like that.
we've heard a lot of different numbers 10, 12, sometimes 20 or something. But I don't think that there is a definitive number. Like, I don't think that anything is known for sure except for the season that is being worked on at the time. Like,
Talk about how many seasons we're getting.
Like Miles and Carrie.
I was
don't-
super confused to where this was going.
Miles and Carrie don't know how Volume 7 ends or what part of the story that's going to encompass. They just know these are the beats that we have to hit. These are the things that are going to happen in the story. So, Ren was going to have that character moment at that point of the story regardless. Had Monty stuck around and he had been part of the writing process, then maybe would have been moved back a little bit later. But there isn't really a disconnect between Monty living and dying and as far as the story is concerned. The important stuff has been long established. That's something I kind of take issue with because it's kind of just it's a weak attack on Miles and Carrie.
Yeah.
I think that they've kind of lost the track whenever they've been there from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's like no.
Oh no! I'm not, I know you're not saying that at all.
All right, cool.
It's like people have kind of forgotten that Miles and Carrie have been there since the
whole time.
beginning
Day fucking
with
one.
Monty. The first
Yeah.
person Monty went
They
to.
fucking like
Yeah, the first
3,000.
person Monty went to was fucking Carrie,
Yeah.
and he was like, red, white, black, yellow. And he's like, yeah, Monty, those are colors. And it's like, no, it's a team. That's the first bit of where, and then that's where it started to turn into an actual anime. He's like, do you want to make an anime? And Carrie's like, fuck yeah. Oh, I'd love to make an anime. That sounds like a great idea.
Oh man.
Fuck me.
Okay.
Every documentary that even includes anything about Monty hits me every time. I'm like, fuck.
They
know what?
make a point to make it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming
I
back.
know, but it's
You can hear the musical shift.
It's
The moment
still
Monty's
real.
name comes
It's
up in a
still-
documentary.
It's still very real in that. It's like people fucking loved this dude so much and loved his fucking
Yeah.
art so much.
He,
It's crazy.
he deserved it.
Yeah.
Coming back to this episode.
Yes.
I have been filing Crescent Rose under the same, like, umbrella as all of the ridiculous kind of gun weapons that we saw in Final Fantasy VIII.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gunblade, which is like inherently impractical. But it just sort of clicked for me this episode how effective of a weapon that could actually be.
Yeah.
Because of her like stabbing it into the ground and then using that as an arm to
She's
aim.
been doing that for...
She has been.
She did
She has
that
been.
in the
But I
first
haven't been thinking about it.
Right.
Like, and it all convalesced to me. Thinking about how well considered all of like the physical aspects of the show are.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the early days, I think that was like really pushed was that all of the characters had very specific physical characteristics that, you know, were archetypal of their sort of being, you know. And it just sort of convalesced in this episode for me where I was just like, it reflects upon her relationship with Crow and Crow's now inspiration with Maria,
Yeah.
her being the Reaper. And it's just nice to have this continuity of what you see and what you understand about the characters all come together.
Well, they talk about that in the podcast at one point. They it's I think the first time that Monty is ever on the podcast when they're first talking about it, and it's they were talking about it, and no, actually, it might be the time after that is Miles that was saying it. It's like I was against the whole big small characters having big weapons thing in anime.
Yeah.
And he was like, that doesn't make any sense, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, it's a sniper rifle, though. And he didn't get it, and then he saw how the character moved
Right.
by shooting the sniper rifle
Right.
behind them and like doing all that, and he was like, all right, that makes more sense. And then her semblance is speed, so she uses that on top of her momentum
Right.
to
Yeah.
like
Ruby's mobility has been her like most effective statistic.
yeah. Her scythe was actually when I heard that, I was like, that was the one thing I couldn't get my head around until I watched the Nevermore.
Oh yeah.
When she
Part
keeps
one,
on shooting
part one
Right.
of volume 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she fucking keeps on shooting up the thing after she loses all the glyphs, and just takes the head off with like
Yep.
I think it's 3 shots. I was like,
That's
oh,
fucking
that's how
badass.
she's propelling herself. Other than because she hadn't like mastered all that shit.
That's how they all propel themselves, is with their
For the most
guns.
part, yeah,
But now
Well, not Weiss.
Ruby does it with her semblance.
Well, Weiss doesn't have a
lot
gun.
more.
exactly.
Yeah.
She has a 6-shooter,
Kind
but
of.
it
does.
shoots dust.
She has
It
kind of
is
a
a
gun
gun
blade. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really.
It's-
good.
it's
Not
a-
really
she
a
fires
laser.
dust.
It's not
It's a
laser.
it's a magic revolver.
Yeah, basically.
Which
Which
by
is
the
kind
way,
of what a gun blade
What would
is,
you
but
call Yang's gauntlets then?
Shotgun
fists.
Yeah,
I don't
shotgun
know,
fists.
gun fists,
Shot gauntlets.
shot gauntlets. Yeah.
I like that one
Which, by the way,
Boom mitts.
which by the way, Weiss finally running out of aura after putting off those like 3-4 gravity glyphs in between
yeah.
Ruby falling into Crow's arms.
Right.
Like her
Everybody.
passing out at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
They've all gotten
everybody's
so
on their last
badass.
leg already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
So they're all at the cusp of like being out of everything.
So that's
and
a
then Godzilla shows up.
that's another big thing. Like their biggest aura man, their fucking aura buffer, which is Jean, he's down and out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have much more going for him, and now they've got this fucking kaiju coming.
It took everything he had fucking saving Nora from that hit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
which must have been a tremendous amount of.
And Ruby's depleted.
Ruby's back.
Ruby was depleted.
No, all you got from
She
Ruby
rallied.
before the end of it all was her looking at Crow going, "I told you so."
Yeah.
Oh
did
yeah,
that.
now she's depleted.
Ruby,
Yeah.
Ruby was depleted before this episode when she was on the cliff, and she fucking dragged it out of her because she's fucking Ruby.
Right.
So
And now
Ruby,
she's it up.
Weiss,
Yeah.
Blake, Yang, they're all depleted.
Mm-hmm.
John.
Nora.
Nora's not?
Nora's fine.
Nora's fine. She got
Rin's
hers.
fine.
Nora's got an excess.
Yeah.
Rin's also fine.
Yeah.
They didn't do a lot.
Well, here.
Ro and Maria are fine. Oscar's fine.
Well,
Well,
Marie's not fine.
Yeah, Maria's
Oh, yeah, her
eyes.
eyes
are
are
all fucked
one.
up.
She just got him back right
Yeah,
before.
she got him.
She said, "Don't tell me, I missed
Right.
it," and then they
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
so Ren and Nora are going to make out and show them the power of love.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
that's
Oscar
what's gonna
and
stop the
Maria are
kaiju.
going to make out.
Mm-hmm.
Show them the power of love.
Like,
Age is
yeah.
just a number.
I mean,
thousands of years.
Anyway.
Not to
Oscar,
Oscar.
we just survived this traumatic event. Let's make
Speaking-
out. All right, old lady. Show me them preflexes.
Speaking of gun
That will
mobility.
show that Osman's back.
oh, I thought you were going somewhere else. Okay.
Speaking of gun mobility, seeing Yang like propel herself like
Oh,
sideways
to,
with her.
Are we
to
getting
have,
there?
Yeah.
To have
Yeah.
her, to have
Right.
fucking Blake
That-
fucking take her place and do
Yeah.
it. Oh,
You know-
so good.
There's this criticism in kung fu movies where it's like, why is it that whenever the main character is fighting a bunch of people, they don't all come and attack him at once?
Yeah.
It's because it's really hard to coordinate that shit.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Yeah.
like, because if you both go to punch somebody, they're gonna react to at least one of you, and you might end up like hurting the other one
Right.
or just making it harder for both of
Right.
you in general.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of a tactical decision to have one person come after the other, or
Yeah.
you need to coordinate.
Yeah.
And seeing the fight between Blake and Yang and Adam,
One
they're
person
just
at a
so
time.
fucking in sync.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's so nice to see them just playing off of each other's strengths and
Oh,
Yang
yeah.
whipping Blake around with their fucking
Well, that's an actual
Reverse
team
Bumblebee.
move.
Yeah.
It's reverse Bumblebee. It's,
Right.
it's Bee Bumble.
yeah. Fucking
No,
reminds me of
I
Colossus
I
tossing
think-
Wolverine at
I
somebody.
think another big point about that, like even seeing that like those things happen, you see a lot of in between moments of like them seeing what the other person is doing and reacting to it, like whenever Adam was shooting back Blake's sword gun back at her, and you see Blake or you see Yang just go and react to it. Like you saw that like pretty much all the way throughout, like just seeing like them like reacting to each other.
Yeah.
You saw their cohesion. Like
Yeah.
they don't need all of like Ruby and Weiss there with them.
Or
Right.
when you see when Blake's scaling up the cliff,
Mhm.
and you see Yang like look over Adam's shoulder,
Yeah.
and like just keep her eye on her.
Right, and then she deliberately throws his sword over the edge to force him over there for the
Fucking
fucking
Shoryuken.
Shoryuken.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, the physics of that punch doesn't really make sense.
It
to
doesn't
me.
matter.
No,
What do
I
you
know.
mean?
I agree.
she
only
propelled
gonna-
herself up with her feet and uppercutted him.
I'm only gonna say it one time.
On the flat wall that she had no footing on.
Yeah.
She jumped on the other side.
Or she pulled herself up like
we see that?
fucking.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna say it one time. I am upset. The reason that I am upset about this episode Because not only did we end on a fucking cliffhanger, like I just wanted a gratifying ending to the season.
I was pretty.
We still have another
Yeah,
episode.
we still have more time.
Wait, what?
There's
Yeah,
still one
this
more
is the
episode.
season. This isn't the finale.
This
No.
is 12.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
would
this
not
is 12.
end it on a fucking kaiju
Yeah, man.
walking up. They
Dude,
would not.
Uh-uh.
Because they've never ended a season like that ever before.
Right.
Okay, so
The big
not upset
badass.
on that one.
Okay.
Not upset on that one.
Well, all right.
I'll
I'm
take
glad.
that
I'm
off
glad
the
you
table.
mentioned it, Colin. Because damn. But what else is getting your goat? What else is chapping your ass?
Getting my goat? What is chapping my ass? What is grinding my gears at this moment? Is the fact that we didn't fucking see him die.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Fell.
Yes,
off
we did.
We saw him die.
No.
Yes,
We saw him die.
Saw him get stabbed twice,
Yeah.
and
we
then
saw him
fall
fall
off,
off.
Ribs
and
get
then hit his
crushed.
head, and then go
No,
into the
okay.
ocean.
No.
We saw him get stabbed twice.
We did not see the life leave his
All right,
eyes.
before
Yeah,
we
we
get
did.
before we
We
get
saw
that
his
far
eyes
into it,
glaze.
before we get that far into it, they're like I'd like to start at a previous point before we get to him dying.
That was Wax and Pineapples too. We'll come back.
One of the big things that I wanted to talk about was fucking Yang's hair. Yang's
Oh.
No, fuck
Yeah.
off. No, no.
She
wait,
went
no,
Super
we're-
Saiyan.
no, okay.
We missed it. We missed it though. She went Super
Go
Saiyan.
back to it.
No, that's not even
Let me
what.
finish
That's
my point.
not even what.
Just let me finish my point
Oh
before
my
we go
God.
back to it. We didn't actually see him die because I don't think I saw the life leave his eyes, and he fell down.
He was
And-
panting, and then he stopped fucking breathing, and then he fell. And then he's fucking hit the rock, and you hear fucking
But-
crunches, and he hit
Okay.
the bottom of
He-
fucking
They
water.
stabbed him in such a way that either his lungs or his spinal cord were
They
pierced.
did the trope of he fell off a
I
fucking
know.
waterfall.
I know. I know.
No.
He
That
fell into
pissed
the
me off
ocean.
too. But
There's a reason for that. There's a reason why they did that trope.
it's Gaston.
Yeah. And
From Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
which
I
is
know,
what
but
But again,
Blake
and what's funny about that
Can I just reference?
is, I was telling them before, Disney had to come out and say, no, Gaston is fucking dead, because people didn't believe that Gaston was dead because
Right.
of the way that he died.
right?
So it's funny, but Adam is dead.
Yeah.
Adam is like so. Is so
God,
fucking, he's more dead than if he had just fucking fallen over right there on the fucking
Right.
ground.
I fucking
Well,
hope he is. But
He
I
definitely
need
got hurt more.
I need an Adam is fucking dead.
I would just.
I need an Adam. I need him. Adam is dead at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
If they had shown him floating to the bottom and fucking getting rushed out and being like at the bottom of the sea next to his sword, going
Right. I think they did this on
and then like
purpose.
faded out, I would believe that he was dead.
I think they definitely did this on purpose because they know we've all wanted him dead for so long now, and now that he is dead, they like just barely didn't give us our nut, and now we just like
That's my point.
What?
Like, especially if they brought Cinder back this
Well,
season.
okay, but
Here's the thing.
I was
But
gonna,
what
I was
would be
gonna bring-
satisfying?
I was going to
Okay.
bring that up though. So with Cinder,
Oh wait, let's
Hey.
not go far beyond it because there was a point.
we're going to come back to that. Let's finish the Adam being dead thing first.
we didn't see Cinder's face. We didn't see her like
Cinder-
life leave her.
Cinder was frozen in ice.
Yeah.
Where she fell wasn't a fucking raging river.
No.
In fact, the fact of her falling in that little lake at the bottom just helped her more than anything. And there was still more story to tell with Cinder.
Yeah.
And there was no like devastating blow. Like there was plenty of plausible deniability with Cinder's death. I don't
Right.
see any with Adams beyond just
The-
well, he fell into a river, so that means he's not
Just because we
dead.
can't see him anymore.
The only thing that I can argue with that on is the fact that we didn't get a backstory on how he got the fucking scar.
But we can
Well,
still get that.
Yeah.
possible-
We
Therefore,
could still get it.
Because-
get that. By
You don't
And
need
we
it.
don't need
You
it.
don't need
Right.
it.
But also
You don't
Blake
need
is
it.
gonna have to confront
But
Weiss about it.
with the
whenever-
waterfall, he can get washed away and spend time on a desert island and
Nah.
fucking do all that.
The
It's a trope. It
I
gets
know,
done.
I know, but Undertow isn't gonna pull him to like a separate.
It's fucking.
Especially not with those wounds. Like, the water makes you bleed out faster.
Yeah. So he's
I trust the nurse.
That's true. I still have my degree for another
Yes,
couple of months.
because actual anatomical bullshit creates a real resounding thing in anime.
I mean, well,
When it needs to.
past the aura.
Like,
Yeah.
There's some truths, even in anime.
So he
I've
did.
been watching way too much.
I agree. I would like to see like just because I don't have the conversation for the next 5
Right,
years.
exactly.
But I would like to see some confirmation. But
Right. I would like to see Blake reach into Adam's chest, pull his heart out, and then put her fingers up to his neck and be like, he has no pulse. And then, like, rip
Eat
his
his
lungs
heart.
out and eat his heart.
No, I want
Exactly.
full confirmation that he is dead.
Right.
Fucking
But he's
dead, fucking
he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. You just gotta be like, all right, nobody's coming back from that shit. He's dead.
I fucking doubt it.
calling
And
you're religious, just accept it.
And I really hate that.
Spiritual.
I still, even feeling this way, I still feel like,
Call me tomato, whatever.
so, even knowing the way I do now, that like I fully believe that Adam is dead, but part of me is still like, but what if they bring him back just because they can? Because he went off screen and
No,
he wasn't a
That
corpse.
would-
That'd be
Completely-
jumping the shark to me to
Right.
the point that I couldn't fucking watch this
Exactly,
anymore.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm worried about.
I don't think it would be.
I don't think they would either, but you
So,
know,
let's-
that's the issue.
Let's stay on the positives of what's going on. Aaron, you wanted to talk about fucking Super Saiyan Yang because I am all about that.
Oh hell yeah!
No, it
every
was
time.
the fact of there's a difference in the color of her hair.
Yeah,
The like there's more red in it, and the reason of that is that typically she uses her semblance way too early in her fighting.
yeah, exactly.
And like it's typically just a brighter blonde, but like in this situation, like this is what happens whenever she stores it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
there's also the fact this was our first time seeing her hair in Maya. But she hasn't fucking gone fucking full Super Saiyan in a couple of years since
That's
they.
true.
Since
I
they
feel like
switched over.
there's a huge difference, but there is
there's
a huge color difference
There's a
between.
huge color difference, but that's part of that is because they have a much better rendering system to do it in. They can do it a lot.
I feel like
fucking
the
better.
color had
Purpose.
absolutely nothing to do with the render difference in there. I
feel
feel
like
like
it's on
like
purpose.
the point of it glowing more, the point of a different coloration inside of that, because they could have made the same color easy.
And-
No, hold on, it was a point of she had stored up all of this to the point that her aura was about to deplete, and she used all of that back, and that's why she got such a huge aura boost coming out of her hair.
I think that's why Adam also says, "Come on, hit me," because all that time she's building up her
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah, she's
through
just taking
assembly.
hits,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So she knew that all that was happening and was taking blowback from her own, like, even after she knew that's how it worked. She wasn't pulling her punches against Sword and taking all that blowback.
Well, she was fighting defensively there until she caught his sword. Cause
I
she,
don't-
yeah.
I don't think she was pulling her punches when she actually punched.
No.
Because it was still
She
like-
wasn't pulling
but
the
she
punches,
wasn't-
but she was still
she
fighting.
wasn't using
she
her
was definitely
semblance,
fighting
though.
defensively and taking the hits so she could build it up
Right.
more than
Okay.
she was
And then when
doing
she
the other
catches the
stuff.
sword, she like releases her semblance and then uses all of the stored momentum
Yeah.
and then
But for her, doesn't he send it back twice?
Like,
is that the
I mean,
angle?
in the previous episode before this latest one, it had to have been like
Was it
a
just-
few times.
But yeah, he-
like three or four that he shot
Right.
stuff back.
you also notice.
No, I mean, send it back twice as in twice the
This-
power.
yeah.
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 Here's the thing. He has to, like, you know how he activates it, you know, when his hair glows and his sword glows. He does that right before he
Yeah.
does that attack that
Well,
again catches.
but he had already done it once before he went to do that attack. He had already sent half of it at her because he did that slash and then he came at her.
Wait, no, but he'd made more contact with his sword in between that. What I'm saying is that he released all of his stored like potential energy.
As he was hitting her with the sword that she caught.
No, but immediately prior
Before
to that.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
So it
So
goes negative,
Nobody
does the
has
moon
a
slice.
right.
Yeah.
So when she did that, that's why she said gotcha.
Yeah, because
'Cause-
she knew that he had already spent
Already
his
released it. And
yeah, and she had her thing still, and she had caught his sword because she knew he couldn't do the thing.
So does
And
that
then-
confirm your thing of it actually works with the robot arm?
I think that was just the fact that it wasn't robot arm, and she wasn't afraid to like grab the blade with it. I mean,
The moment she went red, she was already going to be able to grab that arm anyway. She was already or grab the sword anyway.
Right.
She had enough
I think-
power. She had
I
enough
think-
power that her aura was not going to stop it.
Right. I think also, it was just like a fuck you to him for like he took that arm and she used that arm to grab his
Yeah,
sword.
perfect.
Right.
Perfect cinematography on that one.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
fantastic.
Man,
The reverse Bumblebee was, I think, my favorite part of that fight, other than her catching the blade.
Oh,
Just the thing of like, I was doing this for you, and
Right.
you're doing this for me, and it kind of like solidified that like we're not
Yeah.
protecting each other. We're
Right.
we're not protecting one another. We're protecting each other.
yeah.
Thing.
It's like whenever they can like switch roles like that, that's total cohesion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Also, speaking of the Saiyan thing, I mean, I said it out loud when we were watching it earlier, but
Yeah.
her gotcha line reminded me of when Goku blasts Frieza
Mm-hmm.
and says, "You fool!"
That was perfect though. I mean, they hit the anime tropes in a good way.
Well, I mean,
Well.
it's really blatant the Saiyan
Yeah.
overlap with
Yeah.
Yang.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like where that came from and everything. Is,
Yeah.
My favorite moment of this whole like 2.5 episode fight is just that fucking bum rush for the sword.
Yeah.
Mm,
One of those 2-second moments that last forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. They both dive in.
can we go around the table on that one?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, like, from the point of them all jumping for the swords and everything? That's what I want to know. Like, what were your, like, what did you think was gonna happen? What did you want to happen? That kind of thing.
I was pretty convinced that Yang was going to interrupt Adam as Blake reached for it.
Yeah, I thought Yang was gonna punch like Adam in the side of the head and
Yeah, or
let
something like that.
Blake
or, yeah.
grab the sword.
I thought that Yang was gonna grab the other part of the blade, and that Blake was going to mirror image like right in front of Adam and kick him in the side of the face or something.
Right. There
Like
were
I keep
mirror
forgetting-
image like she got it first.
I
and
keep
then-
forgetting that that's her semblance, and every time like I see
Yeah.
it in the battle, I'm just like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I can generally predict it, or I like want it to be places where it isn't, you know?
Aaron,
Yo,
what were your like? What did you think was going to happen when you first saw?
I mean, whenever
When they
they were
started
first
going
doing
for
that, like going in
first-
on moment,
Yeah.
I knew he was about to die, or well, about to get fucking wrecked, but I didn't expect both of them
The
getting it
double
at the
stab.
same time.
So what did you expect? Is more what we're saying.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting anything at that point in time. I was more just like captivated by the moment that was happening.
Yeah, I
Fair
wasn't.
enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about
Right.
the other side of the sword. I was thinking like, who between fucking Blake and Adam is going to get to that first.
Right.
Like, is it going to be like a traumatic thing, a repeat of season 3, or like is she going to get it? And then like I saw fucking Yang come up behind, like, oh shit, it's about to get real.
Yeah. I did
Damn.
not anticipate that second stab from Blake.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. Like
That
the
double stab.
whole fucking thing, like that is the last thing that I expected for them to get both sides.
I also
whatever.
didn't anticipate them to pull it out.
Yeah.
Just leave him in there.
Yeah.
And then
Ugh.
just stand there and just like watch
Well, I
them.
mean-
What are you going to do?
They already
Yeah, I mean,
killed
you
somebody.
you want to do that though, because then you bleed out faster.
Yep.
If you're gonna stab.
You do, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure their mind wasn't on. I need to murder this guy as fast as possible. For
I
sure
think it
after they-
probably was.
I guess maybe. Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
on that same rail is like I feel like they were totally on the fact of we need to fucking
Yeah, it's
kill this
fucking
guy
double
now
shish
and
kebab.
get his storyline over.
Well, I guess
I
more.
don't think at any point in that fight until then they had any intention of
But yeah,
killing
right.
Adam.
But it came to it.
Yeah,
They wanted-
they had to do it.
they just want to make sure the other was okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Now,
they gave him the opportunity to
I had-
leave.
Yeah.
I had another thing that I was upset about that pertains to all of this. Fucking Yang was side-eyeing the entire goddamn time while she was fighting Adam on her own, looking at Blake the entire fucking time.
Yeah,
she's
Going
playing.
She
off
should
to
be.
the side. However, Adam never picked up on that as an advanced fighter. Never picked up on like looking the fuck behind him.
Well, he has one eye.
He's fucking
It doesn't-
he's
no,
fucking-
that's bullshit. He's been fighting with no eyes the entire goddamn time.
Here's the
he's
thing.
throttled with blood rage right now.
He is frustrated.
He's ready to get it off and get it on.
This is-
Either fucking
this
way
is
as an
apparently-
advanced fighter who is fighting two people at the same time.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
Who
That was
are
terrible.
accomplished fucking fighters, and she knows how he knows how good of a fighter Blake is.
Well, he also makes a point of underestimating Yang and trying to make her believe that.
Several fucking times. He is looking her like dead in the eye and
Right.
talking to her, and she's doing this to the wall over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Why the fuck would she be looking at the wall?
Okay,
over
but
there?
what's he supposed to
'Cause
do?
Blake
Look
still
away
fell off of
and
it.
then let Yang fuck him up?
I mean, he
Yeah.
was a quick boy. He could have just fucking backed off.
Right,
I mean,
but no.
It's the same situation with Cordo though. Like, sure, maybe in prime condition or whatever, they'd be able to react appropriately, but they're
Yeah.
not thinking
Right.
like clearly right now.
So you're saying that he's not emotionally amenable enough to actually.
Fuck no.
No.
To actually
Adam is a
think about that
broken
shit?
motherfucker. I think
He has a
the
scar
fact
on
that he's
his
in this
face that-
conflict at
yeah.
all
Isn't
means that
he
he's...
watching his back at all fucking times, basically, though? That's the thing.
He's
Well-
super paranoid, but that don't mean shit.
Right. It's like, also, tactically, what is he supposed to do? Divide his focus between somebody he's, like, temporarily incapacitated and somebody who's actively attacking him? Because if he tries to focus on both of them, he's just gonna
Leave
end up...
himself more open for Yang to attack
for Yang
him.
to fuck him up at that point. So he's like, he's focusing on one at a time so that he can actually deal with him. Because if he were to divide his focus, he wouldn't be able to take
I feel like at that point
either
he
of them.
just relinquished the fact that Blake was even in the fight. And I feel like,
I mean, kind of, to a point.
out of everything, if
But he knew that she didn't have
ever
a
thought that
weapon.
Blake was still in the fight, then if Yang's looking off to the left like every 3 seconds.
Right, but he knows that she doesn't have a weapon, and he probably just assumes that she's just checking on her, that she exists still.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to see if she sees any sign of her
Right.
or something.
Yeah. They're
If he's processing it
Yeah.
at all.
Right.
Okay.
Also,
He's just hearing himself talk at that point.
yeah, basically. He's probably just like hearing the voice in his head that's been like dragging him to fucking chase after Blake blindly after the fall of, yeah.
What did you see in you? Yeah, that's what I should have said.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He's freaking the fuck out this whole time. He's a fucking bitch. He's a goddamn bitch.
Line, dude.
Yeah, that line. I screamed whenever he said it.
What does she see in you?
He's fucking nuts.
He's a stalker ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
He is the permeation of fucking, or the
Manifestation?
manifestation of fucking the abusive boyfriend trope.
Yeah.
In
Right.
all ways, shapes, and forms.
I mean, Adam's a tragedy in all ways. Like, he started with, I mean, misguided but well-intentioned goals, and whatever happened to him, you don't have to know the specifics to know that however he got that scar was probably really fucked up, and we just seen him devolve into just this obsessed, power crazy fucking madman who killed the high leader of the White Fang, killed all the fucking lieutenants, fucked up their attack on Haven, all because of his obsession with this girl who told him that he wasn't like doing the right thing by the Faunus or whatever, and just like said to fuck off.
Also,
so now they're gonna make us feel for him.
No,
No,
I think we're
I
gonna
don't-
understand him.
Yeah, I
which
don't-
is different.
I don't feel for Adam.
You don't feel for him now.
No, I mean like you can understand somebody's motivations and not sympathize or empathize at all.
Yeah.
You guys were justifying the fact that he was a slave last week with the fact that he's like a little bitch boy now.
Yeah, I mean that's
Hey,
understanding
justifying.
though. That's not justifying. That's
Justifying was a bad deal on that one.
No, I'm with Goose,
Yeah,
actually.
because we both yelled he was a slave when you were like, well, we don't know how he got that scar. He may have been like acting up, and we were like, he was a
No.
slave.
Yeah. This
What?
happened. Roll the tape.
Yeah, basically. I mean, okay,
You
all right.
there will be no tape. What I'm saying is,
Right,
with that, I don't believe that what I was saying was that what happened to him was an actual thing that should have happened. I'm saying that the reason that it happened to him, whereas it didn't happen to other slaves that we've seen who have been like other Faunus that we've seen, was because he
Why are you
was
laughing?
Because he
was a riot
well, that's
worthy
slave. He kind of
he was a riot-worthy dude, and fucking they decided to make an example of him at some point, and that led him down the path that he is right now, rather
Right.
than some of the Faunus who stayed back off of it.
right, but that's not justification.
Who,
that's
if they
explanation.
gave it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's not
there's a
justification at all. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's no point of this that makes this justified. I'm just saying that's probably why he had the thing, because he was rebellious from the start.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't I don't think we're gonna get much.
If they didn't show it in
There's
this
no way.
episode,
I think-
we're not gonna.
There's no fucking way.
I feel like they will maybe get an explanation in some form of conversation between Blake and
Already?
Weiss. Blake and Weiss. I think it's possible that Blake could be like, he had fucking Schnee Dust Company on his face. What's that about? But I feel like Blake should already know that, right?
Yeah.
She already knows that they were stealing their shipments.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I mean,
Blake's definitely seen without the mask before.
right,
I'm sure.
right.
That was
Well-
just to drive the point to drive. Yeah.
No, Blake knows that
Blake
about the slave trade and everything.
Yeah. Like,
Okay, all right.
She was part of the Wei Fang. She
Well,
knows
yeah,
about all of
yeah.
that shit.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I'm like, why are we given that in the first place? Then why did they have to reveal the fucking
Well, because
mark?
Because we hadn't seen his eyes.
yeah, we've.
Just because there had to be something interesting on his face because we hadn't seen it.
I mean, they're not going to. If they hadn't shown his eyes, I wouldn't believe he was dead.
Backstory.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
But I feel like if we didn't get a backstory in this episode, we might not get one.
I mean, we got one in one of the trailers.
Dude.
I feel like they told.
Yeah, I
his
told what
story-
happened.
Hey,
Adam
that-
is well explained by
Yeah.
now, but
You don't have to know
we
all
just want the
details.
specifics of the face stamp.
And that's why there should be a.
we could draw a timeline from when he starts to matter and his death.
There should be a character guide for RWBY
Yeah.
for everybody.
We'll get a
So-
Bible.
We'll get a Bible at some point.
There's a
So
wiki.
we got one more episode to go. How do we think this is going down?
Oh man.
You know, I used to say I thought they were gonna get over to Atlas,
Yeah,
and I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
We all did. At one point, we all agreed on it.
Yeah,
We might see them just coming upon.
yeah. I
Atlas
think
at
we're
the
gonna
end
see
of
it over the horizon at the end of the
Yeah.
volume.
But I think importantly, the Squawktopus. What was it?
Squatopus hide.
Hydrokin.
You think they're gonna
the
be-
Squawktopus.
All right, let's start.
Squawktopus-
Let's start with old Captain Noli over here, Mr. Also Nolan. What do you think is going to happen, and how do you think this?
I was already saying it.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
do it.
Oh, I apologize.
All right. I'm glad our engineer's paying attention. I think the Squawktopus Hydrokin is gonna. I was just kidding. I think the Squawktopus Hydrokin is going to start to wreak a little bit of havoc upon Argus.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's not Squatopus Hydrokin.
Grimjira.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Grimjira. Which means giant whale in Japanese, by the way. Gojira. Anyway. I think the giant whale is going to attack Argus. And we're going to see a little bit of devastation. Things are going to get ramped up. It's going to be shitty. More Grim are going to come in because of all the fucking mayhem and all of the shitty feelings. Yeah, like the smaller
We already
Grim.
got more Grim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're going to storm the, like Godzilla 2000.
Sorry.
Storm the gates! And then we're going to see Maria finally steal those eyes from Calavera, which is my headcanon. And
You swear to still eyes.
I want her to steal the eyes from gray-haired tiny bitch. Anyway. Let's see. Where are we all at? We've got all this. Alright, yeah. Blake and Yang are going to rejoin the group.
Of course.
If Bumblebee still exists, we will see them on Bumblebee.
Bumblebee's as dead as Adam.
Yeah, see, that's fair.
Look at a Trex
Which
band.
means
But
that
we-
both of them are going to be brought from the sea. Awesome.
We didn't see the life leave Bumblebee's eyes, so we didn't see
Bumblebee
Bumblebee get
Adam
stabbed
mix.
twice.
Bumblebee will be back in a new form.
Yeah,
Those-
we'll get a new
most
Bumblebee.
definitely.
We'll get a new Bumblebee, but that bike is gone.
Right on, right
the
on.
ocean is going to be brought up.
Oh, I think that fucking John's sister's wife lady is going to
Tara.
give access for to Blake to some kind of armory, and she's going to grab a new weapon. That would be fucking sweet.
Nah, you have to make your weapon. It doesn't count if you just fucking get one.
Well-
Unless it comes from somewhere that's like sentimental or something.
New season is
How's
gonna
that?
be new outfit for Blake, new weapon for Blake, and Bumblebee for
Okay,
Yang.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's see.
Why are you
What
pouting
else?
over there?
What else?
Why not? Go ahead.
Why can't she use an interim weapon for the fucking
I mean, she could for the
God.
fight.
fight? Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like as a replacement weapon or something.
No.
Okay.
But barring all that, let's see. What's really coming down to is whether or not they're going to free the bot to help with Gojira.
I don't think so.
They ruined that arm.
Yeah, I think the bot is probably fucked. But I do think they're going to have some kind of a turn Calavera. She's not going to be cool with them, but she's going to be like, all right, fucking whatever. We have to deal with this situation. It's more important. Mm-hmm. And she's going to start leading the Ellis troops against Gojira.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Basically, what Nolan said, minus the eyeballs, because that's not a canon for me. And I don't know what Blake's going to do about a weapon, but I don't think that John's sister's wife, his sister-in-law, is going to let her access anything.
John's sister's child's mother.
No, why?
Okay, why are you pouting? What's up over there?
Are you done with yours?
Yeah.
What are you pooting about?
So, no way that Mech's not going to get involved in that fight.
The mech is out, dude.
So,
They may just
I
go
mean,
for the
it's
arsenal.
that Mech
things.
is out. Give me
It's not all out.
The only reason, I'm on your side, the only reason that Mech is out is because it's too heavy to lift.
Well,
It's
yeah,
too,
they
it's
may,
too
they
heavy
may
to
just,
its gun arm.
they may just cut that
too
arm
really-
off.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
I know that Nora Canola does have a lot of grenades, and I know that they have a lot of slashing power in their repertoire to be able to cut off enough weight for that mech arm to be able to lift again and be like, hey, we're doing this. Let's go after it. So, what I want to happen next episode,
Kaiju.
what I think will
Robot
happen
fight?
next episode, is that they basically look at each other and go, this isn't going to go well without the mech, and break off the extra weight, because that's the only thing that's keeping her from lifting it up, is the extra weight. Break off that extra weight, and that's helping them fight the kaiju. Of course, Blake and Yang come back and join the party. And I hope that the fleet jets go and they try to take care of everything in the air, and then realize that they can't, and that Maria comes in and is like, hey, let me lead this air support shit. And then, so old gray girl leads the ground defense, and then Maria leads the air defense, and then they like work together back and forth and do that, and it works out amicably. But the one big thing that I want to happen is that RWBY uses her silver eyes, and it doesn't.
I totally forgot about Silver Eyes. Damn it
Doesn't
all.
it doesn't fucking work.
Why would it not work?
I want it to not work
Her silver eyes? Does it not work?
because I want it to not work.
Not being enough to take down the
Not
Okay,
being
yeah,
enough
yeah.
to take down the
Right.
kaiju. I want her to try to use it, it knock her out, and it not be enough to take down the kaiju.
What if it takes out the same arm that the robot is missing, and then we have a one-armed...
Possibly, but either way, I want her to use her silver eyes and it not be enough to take out the kaiju. I don't want her to use the silver eyes on the thousands of fucking other bullshits.
Either that, or if it takes out the kaiju, I still want her to pass out, and so Ruby's incapacitated. We don't have the silver eyes to just
For
spam,
sure.
spam
Yeah.
the
For
rest
sure.
of
For
the
sure.
grim.
But I want it to be, she tries to use the silver eyes, it maybe detriments the kaiju, but does not take out the whole thing,
Right.
either because of line of sight or not enough power.
Right.
But we still have one more thing to go through
I just had
before we backtrack.
I just have one tangential thought I want to get into.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you got two.
Just one tiny tangent here.
Alright.
Nolan's tiny tangent corner.
Nolan ties his hand.
Look at this.
The movie gets kind of.
When Maria got her eyes slashed, it should have cut her nose too.
Oh my god, what? Go ahead, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
see, this is a very insignificant point.
Very. Okay.
Is it here?
It's here.
Hold on, no.
Yeah.
Do you have a
covered.
further point on it?
No, I'm saying,
It's covered.
is it?
Yeah. Straight across.
Okay.
Okay, so
You don't think that girl
Fine.
was fucking like skilled enough to like make an actual like
Within
straight cut across?
within those 60 seconds, her aim and everything was perfect.
Okay, that's not the point. What I'm saying is, you can't physically without destroying your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was covered. Right here.
What? He's talking about... Are you talking
I'm
about...
talking about like her whole nose would have been ripped off, but it doesn't matter.
Like, when she actually got her actual eyes.
Hey,
Yeah.
if we want to get on to technical points about where people were hit and everything, there's a lot of different points we could say stuff about. She got hit directly in the eyes and nothing else, Nolan.
No,
Yeah.
that's not.
Dude,
It's not.
look,
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm sorry I said anything.
if it hit right here and went across right here,
Yeah.
went across,
Enough
then her nose is fucking covered by the goggles.
No, she didn't have the oh, yeah.
Her nose is covered by
We're
the
talking about
goggles.
No, no.
Swin.
What?
We're talking
Yeah.
about when she
It
actually
wouldn't have
lost
been-
her eyes.
Yeah.
If it was as sharp as a sword that we're thinking, then it would have just cut through all the cartilage and bone and everything. It wouldn't have ripped off her nose. It would have just gone through.
I still think it would have destroyed her nose.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Hey,
we should talk
so
about
what
that
do you
later.
think's going to happen on the season
We should
finale
talk
of
about that
RWBY?
like several
weeks ago,
episodes before.
okay, so I don't think that the mech is going to come back, and I will say why. That sounds like very weak storytelling to me to introduce the threat of, or the conflict of, oh, we took out the mech that's here to fucking fight giant fucking Seagrim,
Yeah.
and now there's a giant Seagrim. Oh, never mind, we're just going to bring the mech back into the fight. This eliminates that tension
Well,
immediately.
Now it's damaged.
Now it doesn't have the cannon.
Now it doesn't have a
let it
can.
go.
Have the
So it
thing-
would still be like we fucked ourselves over a little bit,
it doesn't
but it
have
is
the
weaker
thing that was
than.
made for fucking
It's still,
taking-
it's
Let him
still-
finish.
It's still weaker than them being like, okay, well, we don't have that anymore, so I guess we have to take this thing down. We can't take it down. There's so many of them. That one's so big. We've taken down bigger Grim before. No, we haven't, Ruby, but we will now. She's right, guys. We can do this. I have a strategy. Nora, attack it from the side. Ren,
Is that
go hug Nora.
Jen? Is that John?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Ren, go ahead.
But it doesn't have the merit there. It's like if,
Hammer it, Nora.
if the giant mech had its full cannon and everything ready to go, when that kaiju shows up, it's made to kill it. And it's
But
made
that's-
to like
that's
put
a-
it right in its chest and
that's-
fucking like blast through it and do its thing.
Yeah.
Right,
But
but
now it doesn't have that, and even if they broke that off, it's still just basically fucking wrestling it.
But
It's not gonna kill it.
I could see it going either way, honestly. But I do think it would be cooler to see the fight of all of the tiny actual people versus giant kaiju.
Yeah.
But where they
So
gonna
I'm-
get, how are they gonna get there?
Kick, how do you think the
What do you
episode's going to
How are
end?
they
I'm
gonna
trying
They
to,
got-
I'm
they have
trying
the
to say
shit.
that.
They still have the
Everybody's
shit.
fucking talking over me.
get there?
I think that they're not going to get the mech back working. If they do, it's not going to help anything. Blake and Yang are going to show back up. Everybody's fucking depleted. Maybe Jean has enough in him to give everybody enough boost to fight. And trying to decide if I think that Ruby's going to Silver Eye the Horde, or if she's going to Silver Eye fucking Grimjira.
Right.
But one of those is going to happen. I think one of those is going to go down because I do think that Silver Eyes doesn't need to be enough to take out everything, but I don't think that after this development that Ruby needs to fail with Silver Eyes. I think there needs to be some kind of victory with it, just not a total victory.
I could see it being that she is just like kind of wavering in her confidence over whether or
Yeah.
not she can access it, and then she has a talk with Maria like mid battle, and she's like, "You just got to do the thing. You got to
I
think
could see.
about."
I would love to see a good hype moment between her
Right.
and Maria being like, "Just use your eyes, dumbass." Aaron.
Man, okay, so I'm really happy that none of you guys had the same idea that I've had in my head. I feel like the Silver Eyes is going to end up being a thing. It's going to take out the smaller stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to take out the kaiju. Not going to take out the kaiju. The mech's not going to take out the kaiju. The way that I really feel like that this is going to end is that they're not going to be able to take down everything that happens at Argus. And they're going to have to make the choice to leave.
Ooh.
To leave
and-
and still go to Atlas to get their mission fulfilled because
We're due
in the
for a
bigger
failure.
scheme, they have to.
Yeah.
I don't
If
think
they
so,
can't make it, they're gonna have to get on that. They're gonna have to get on that ship and leave on their own. They
Yeah.
can't. And they're gonna have to. And the ending of this season is going to be them leaving for Atlas and watching Argus burn.
We've had
Ooh.
defeat. We've had victory. We haven't had a retreat.
Yeah.
I think that we'll have a
Oh,
Jean
man.
conflict there.
Exactly,
Because
because he's gonna have to
his
leave his
sister's
sister.
there.
It's not even that. It's not even just that. It's the fact that there's a statue built Pyrrha there, and the fact that
No,
I feel like he would care
the
more.
Statue of Pyrrha won't mean
hold on,
anything
hold on,
compared
hold on,
to his
hold on,
family.
Hold on. The conversation that he had, she was a huntress and she did everything and anything to be a huntress and protect everyone, always.
But sometimes, I mean, you have to choose your battles.
But
That's why Pyrrha
not
died.
what he learned from that conversation. He learned that you do what you need to do to protect other people.
Right.
He learned
And
that was Pyrrha's strength,
sometimes
and that's why she
retreat
died.
is
Right. In the grand scheme of things, retreating would be what they need to do. Them getting to Atlas is more important than them dying in this battle in Argus.
But I still feel like that will be a Jean conflict.
Oh, I definitely
definitely,
see
but-
John having a conflict.
I feel like they're all going to have a huge conflict with it.
Right.
But end all be all, it's gonna end up being a point of we gotta go. There's nothing we can do here.
And
Did
then
you
that little
see-
baby
did you
dies.
see- did
We
you
see
see
the
the
little baby
amount of-
die.
Did you see the amount of Grimm that were coming into Argus? The huge difference between here and
Any other time ever?
no. So volume 3. What's the at the Vital Festival?
Yeah.
There were huntresses and hunters, like they were there to
Right.
help protect it and make
Right.
some sort of stop to it. As far as we've seen in Argus, it's just them and maybe a couple other
it's
the
like
way
the
that
Atlas.
the way hold on
Shitload of Atlas.
the way that they had a shitload of Atlas. It's all in one particular point right now. The big thing is that we haven't seen any other huntress or hunters that are there at that point. All we see is RWBY. All they have, all that they're depending on is Atlas. They've made a point that Atlas is what's protecting Argus.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that is protecting Argus. They don't need huntresses and hunters because all they need is Atlas military to
Yeah.
take care of them. But at this point, Atlas is not going to be able to take care of them.
And to your point, back to fucking Vital, the Atlas military was there. Fucking Ironwood with his
Yeah.
best men were there, along with fucking professional huntress and huntsmen at the fucking Vital Festival, where the best fucking elite
Irish
students
Yeah.
of every fucking school was there, and they still sure, fucking Kevin kept fucking shitting out more Grimm, but there are so many more Grimm
But-
coming on them right now.
My prediction is they're going to lose this fight. They're not going to win this fight, and Argus is going to fall.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
That is my.
I can really see it now that you
I never
mention it.
even.
I didn't think about it.
thought-
Yeah.
No, I didn't either. But
Nobody
I'm
did.
Gonna, I'm gonna go with that. I'm
Yeah,
with that.
that's pretty. That's on
I'm
point.
not fully with it. I feel like
I'm with everything I said up until the point of the end, and they fail.
if I feel like they won't fail, but I feel like a shitload of Argus is gonna get fucked.
Oh, there's a reason we
In-
saw that beautiful landscape, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Maria's gonna steal the giant Grimm's eyes.
Okay, so we got one more episode of RWBY to hit on next week. We'll see where our predictions come true. Next week's gonna be a lot of fun because not only do we have the last episode of RWBY Volume 6, we have 2 episodes of Genlock to break down. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then on February, I want to say 18th, somewhere around there, we'll be coming back with Fandom Nonsense and the whole show. So make sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications to know when we upload a video. And we will see you guys next week with a very exciting first word. And that is the first word.